All right, let's dive into one of the most incredible stories in all of biology. We're going to talk about how we go from a single tiny cell to the trillions of cells that make you, well, you. It's a wild journey, so let's get into it.
So, yeah, here's the big mind-bending question. We all start out as just one fertilized egg. How on earth does that one cell know how to build a heart, a brain, lungs, your eyes, everything? It seems completely impossible, doesn't it? Well, the answer lies in two amazing, deeply connected processes.
Okay, so this first big piece of this puzzle is something called cell differentiation. You can think of this as the body's master plan. It's the instruction manual that turns a simple clump of identical cells into a complex working person.
So what is it exactly? The easiest way to think about it is like a cell choosing a career path. It's the process where a young, totally generic cell gets its job assignment and then transforms into a specialist, like a nerve cell or a muscle cell or a skin cell. And get this isn't just for building babies. It's happening inside you right now to heal wounds and replace old cells. Now, here's where it gets really, really cool. Every single cell in your body, from your brain to your big toe, has the exact same DNA, the complete instruction manual. So a great way to picture this is to think of your DNA as a massive cookbook that's in every cell, a cookbook with thousands and thousands of recipes. The question is, how does a cell know which recipe to follow? Well, it basically happens in 3 steps. First, the cell gets a signal. It's like a little chemical text message from its neighbors that says, hey, we need a muscle cell over here. Second, it opens that giant cookbook, the DNA, and reads only the recipe for a muscle cell. It doesn't rewrite the book. It just turns to the right page and ignores all the others. This is actually a whole field of study called epigenetics. Super fascinating. And third, once it has its instructions, it transforms, becoming that fully fledged specialist.
But hold on. Where do these young, unspecialized cells even come from in the first place? That brings us to the second crucial piece of our puzzle, the absolutely amazing stem cells.
These are the body's ultimate raw materials. They are the blank slate cells, the ones that haven't picked a career yet. They are the fundamental building blocks for, well, everything. And they have 2 unique abilities that pretty much make them biological superstars. So what makes them so special? It comes down to 2 distinct superpowers. First up is self-renewal. A stem cell can divide and make a perfect copy of itself. This is huge because it means the body always has a supply of these blank slates ready to go. And second is potency. This is that incredible ability we just talked about, to differentiate and become a specialized cell whenever and wherever the body needs one. But here's the thing. Not all stem cells are created equal. They actually exist in a hierarchy, kind of like a power ranking, based on how potent they are. So let's break down this hierarchy, starting with the most powerful of them all. At the very, very top, you have totipotent stem cells. Seriously, think of these as the ultimate master key. They can become absolutely any cell in the human body, plus all the other stuff needed for development, like the placenta. You only find these guys in the first handful of days after fertilization. They're the original architects. Okay, take one step down the ladder and you get pluripotent stem cells. These are still incredibly versatile. They can become almost any cell in the body, but they can't make the placenta. These are the embryonic stem cells you often hear about in the news. And scientists have even figured out how to take our adult cells and reprogram them back into this powerful state right in the lab. Next up, we have multipotent stem cells. Now, these are a bit more limited. They're more specialized. A perfect example is the stem cells in your bone marrow. They are masters of the blood system. They can churn out red blood cells, white blood cells, platelets, no problem. But you can't ask them to make you a brain cell. That's not in their job description. And this chart just lays it all out for you perfectly. You can see the whole power structure. From the totipotent master key, the zygote itself, down through pluripotent and multipotent, all the way to unipotent cells, which really only have one job, like a skin stem cell that just makes more skin. Each level gets a little more focused. So we've got differentiation, telling cells what to do, and we've got stem cells providing the fresh recruits. But why is this combo so important? Why does any of this really matter? This quote just says it all, doesn't it? It's really not an exaggeration. Without differentiation, we'd just be a formless blob of cells. And without stem cells, we'd have no way to grow or to repair the damage our bodies take every single day. They are both absolutely essential for life as we know it. And this isn't just some abstract biology lesson, folks. This science is right at the cutting edge. It's at the heart of some of the most exciting breakthroughs in medicine today, and it's shaping the future.
We're already doing some absolutely mind-blowing things with this knowledge. A bone marrow transplant for leukemia, that's stem cell therapy. Using skin grafts for severe burns, that relies on skin stem cells. Even the fact that your gut lining replaces itself every few days is thanks to stem cells. And in labs, researchers are using them to figure out how to fight diseases like Parkinson's by learning to grow the exact neurons that are needed.
And that brings us right to the future. From a single cell to a complex, thinking, healing person, the partnership between stem cells and differentiation is the ultimate story of how life builds and rebuilds itself. So the question is no longer if we can harness this incredible power, but what are we going to choose to regenerate next? Will it be damaged hearts, failing organs, something we can't even imagine yet? The possibilities, well, they're as vast as the human body itself.